Welcome back. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced international tourists will be allowed to visit South Africa again. Will this make a significant difference for struggling restaurants? Well, Restaurant Association of South Africa's CEO, Wendy Alberts, joins us now. Good morning to you, Wendy. And that's precisely the question. Will this new regulation being amended make a difference, especially for those struggling restaurants?
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting us. We're still in very dark, charted waters, as you well know, with regards to the recovery process with restaurants. We desperately need tourism to be a part of the survival process for us to move forward. We've seen some iconic restaurants closing in Cape Town, which was imminent of many other restaurants, which is going to follow suit. So the alcohol sales certainly will detract from certain sales over the weekend. It's a natural process for the consumer to be able to now purchase their alcohol through weekend times, which will definitely be a diminished part of our sales.
And what about the on-site consumption? I mean, I know that the president did mention that, on-site consumption, it seems that those regulations will still stand as far as, the lockdown is concerned and time-wise. Would you like to see more of an extension there?
Look, we're coming up to the peak season of trading time, so we certainly know that the curfew is still in place till 12 o'clock. And we've learned to operate within the restrictions of COVID. So we have definitely benefited off the bottle stores being closed over weekends. So we'll have to really track the turnovers and the trend that will take place over the weekend and see how much it will have an impact on us. And we'll have to further take an address to the Minister and the Minister of Small Business to see what relief is further going to be given to us.
Yeah. Interestingly, you talk about, Wendy, peak times, and we know that the holidays upon us. Most families will be going out and about, hoping to eat out more. What are some of the contingency plans that you have in place then ahead of, the upcoming festive season?
Look, we've got to continue to educate, and we've got to continue to talk and remind all the restaurants of the protocols and the directives that are in place. We certainly had good report backs from the various people in Cape Town, KZN and Joburg that the restaurants are very compliant. So we do applaud them on an ongoing basis for their initiatives to maintain that. And I think we need to keep reminding the numbers. We still track them. We are still reporting back into our base on the numbers and the increase and the decrease in the numbers. That's pertinent that we continue levels of communication and lines of communication. But what is very pertinent is post the festive season and how we are going to move through the recovery January, February, March. So we in massive engagement with landlords at the moment, massive engagement with banks. We've just brought Nedbank onto the patron. It's got many solutions for restaurateurs. We're hoping that there'll be a lot of relief coming through for restaurateurs that are on the breadline that certainly need cash flow, need injections to be able to survive post the season. We don't know how much cash flow is out there on the consumer and how much they're certainly going to be spending. So we're looking at holidays at the moment. We're really checking into tourism, understanding is it a 5-day holiday that people are taking, 3-day holiday. We've gone down from a massive 10-day holiday span down to maybe a 5-day. And all these elements affect the trend. And as you well know, all restaurants, especially on holiday belts, survive on tourism.
Right. And just speaking of that relief, for those restaurants you made mention of earlier on that unfortunately they have closed down and shut down, you made mention of some of them being in Cape Town. Any hope at all at this point if that relief will help resuscitate those restaurants?
We are looking at all corners to bring relief into the restaurant sector. We are looking for any way to bring loans, to bring cash flow and to bring sustainability. But the fastest and hardest impact we've got are 3 aspects. One is the TERS, the payments of the TERS, the tiniest payments, and keeping our staff employed and the rotation of our staff. The largest element is obviously the landlords. They haven't received relief on their end, and they're putting pressure on us to pay back the large debt that is outstanding, as well as the leases, and to move back into those large leases and to commit to the payments on those leases, especially now that the holiday season's coming. They perceive restaurants to be much busier. We're not busier, we're just busier in people, but we are bringing in less ticket spend. So we are certainly down on turnover. We're still around about 40% down on turnover in comparative, which makes a massive difference if you understand the financial model of a restaurant. That the margins are so particularly thin. Food prices have gone through the roof, and we're still trying to hold our menu prices for what it was prior to COVID.
All right, then we'll have to leave it at there. And thank you so much, Wendy, for talking to us.